Всем привет, добрый вечер. У нас уже еженедельные встречи в прямом эфире. Так, сейчас мы пригласим гостя. Hello, Mirella. How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Good. Nice to see you. I haven't actually spoke to you before, so it's really nice to put face to face, you know.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. Thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah. How are you doing? How are things in Netherlands?
Well, they got a bit worse, so we have to wear masks again. Until now, we didn't have to wear any mask, but it's only for inside. We entered into a 3 weeks lockdown, so the shops are closing at 8, like the essentials one. The others one at 6. So yeah, a bit stressing.
Yeah, it's a little bit stressing, but I believe that the majority of European countries are more or less experiencing the same a kind of situation. Because in Latvia, today is the first day out of the lockdown, actually, because we've been in lockdown for 4 weeks. And yeah, so I don't really kind of feel it because the kind of working from home, you know, you don't really realize, you know, when you're in lockdown or when you're just in a personal lockdown, you know, work-wise. So you say that at the moment some of the shops are being closed for certain times, and you have to wear masks.
Yeah, only inside.
Yeah, so I hope, and what they're saying, is it going to stay for a longer time, or it's just for a shorter period?
At the moment, it's only for 3 weeks until Interclass. They're when they start the holiday, the winter holidays. So they are trying to keep things under control, but I guess we have to see what's going on after.
But you know, I think it's better maybe to implement some preventive measures rather than to fight for survival. So maybe it's even better, you know, to have like shorter lockdowns, a kind of lockdowns,
Yeah.
you know, to prevent certain things rather than fight the problems. Okie doke. So we are entering a kind of, you know, the new wave again, and hopefully it's not going to last for long. But it seems like we might be experiencing, you know, more or less the same every winter or autumn for a number of years until it just calms down a little bit. Okay, Mirella, tell us about yourself. You know, what do you do at Fontys? Are you a student? Are you an employee? So what your role is?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Mirela, as you've seen in the post. I'm a third-year student at Fontys. I'm doing my internship now.
Okay.
I'm a main profile in software engineering, so that's my my main choice. And I have a specialization on smart mobile. And also I'm doing internship. So my assignment for the internship is also based on smart mobile.
Great. So are you doing an internship at Fontys, or are you just helping Fontys while your internship is with the other company?
No, so this is how Fontys works. So in these 4 years of studying at Fontys, you will have 2 internships. So basically, when you will finish Fontys, 1 year will be of experience. So that's really nice. So I'm doing my first internship, which is the first semester of the 3rd year. So you basically, you have an assignment, and you have to do that assignment in a company. So this is my, let's say, Fontys work for 1 semester. So this is all my courses or everything. It's in this internship assignment. So I'm not going to courses anymore. I'm just, for example, a full-time employee. So That's
Oh,
nice.
perfect. So you're actually doing something for Fontys in terms of what you produce.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know, maybe it's a secret, you know, undercover, but what exactly maybe you're doing or what kind of a problem you're solving for the university?
Well, so the company that I'm working, it can be any company that you may find, but it's contact with Fontys. It's nothing that they work for them or something. It's just they agreed me on doing internship at their company. So it's a logistics company. They are doing software for warehouses. And I am trying to find a way for them to grow and change their mobile technology. So I'm trying to build an application for them. I'm running some tests, and we'll see how it goes in the end.
Perfect. And what are you going to do in your second semester of your third year?
So next semester, I have to choose between a minor and doing my main profile, which is software engineering. So I am still between these two, but I think I will go with the software engineering and then my minor, and the last semester, which is semester 8, it's gonna be the graduation internship. So again, we will have like a full-time. And then
yeah, actually, besides working as a recruitment agent for Fontys for quite a long time, I also had for Fontys and generally for the Netherlands, I also actually had an experience twice. I had 2 students, and I was an internship coordinator for them from the company's side. So I actually had 2 interns, not from Fontys, but from another University of Applied Sciences. And I should say that it was an amazing experience for me as a manager to have an intern from a University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. I was actually amazed because those were girls, were in marketing, PR, and communication.
yeah.
So they were actually helping me a lot with solving the real problems that you don't usually have time for. So yeah, they actually produced a lot of interesting ideas that were implemented successfully into the company structure. So I'm still really, really amazed at what they did and at what I was involved into. So that was a very nice experience for me as well. So we will talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the profile of an applied sciences university and how it actually can help students in the future and what the benefits of this education are. At the moment, you know, the whole idea of running those presentations was to let students know, you know, how universities operate in this kind of already post-COVID era.
Yeah.
We had, you know, up and down, you know, having lockdowns here or there. But overall, it means that you actually spent almost 2 years of your education being in a kind of a COVID situation, right?
Yes.
How would you describe it? What was your experience? I presume there were like probably things that you had to struggle with, but maybe how did Fontys cope with the whole situation, you know, and how the teaching was delivered and how is it delivered at the moment?
Well, so right now, until now, so before the government tightened the measures, it was how it was before. So we were quite happy that we could go back to the university itself. We especially a new building, and we didn't actually had the time to spend there. But right now, the thing is, we just need to wear masks in the common areas. So while you have a course or while you're in your classroom, you don't need a mask. If you are going to another floor maybe or to the bathroom or something, you just need to wear a mask. This is how it's working now. And in the past, we did hybrid education. We had fully online, but that was only about how the measures were. So at the beginning, we got a bit scared because everyone was like scared, and we were fully online. Yeah, it was a bit strange because we didn't know exactly what to do. So yeah, we don't know how to cope with that. But because we were all in this IT era in software engineering, we got acquainted with everything, included like MS Teams, and we had everything that was working together with us to fulfill our education. We had the exams were also online. We had most of the presentations online. Everything was online. Yeah, I think every school in the world was doing online.
When did you return to the hybrid model of education?
So we had in September 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
Pretty much your last year was the hybrid version, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year. It was half hybrid, half online, because we had like two cases at some time and we had to shut it down.
So you didn't quit, obviously, since you are in year 3. So how did you personally cope with the load and with the pressure? So was it hard for you as a student? Did you adjust fast? How did the university help you adjust? So what was the kind of what's your reality?
Definitely, we had some help from teachers because we all were new in this situation, and we had to help each other. So definitely, it was a help from Fontys' side. In terms of how I dealt with the assignments and everything, I think I did a nice job, given the fact that I'm in a higher semester than I was before COVID. Everything, yeah, it was online. We had teams. We were working on teams, on groups. We used everything that we could, like Discord, for example, maybe WhatsApp groups, even MS Teams. So we had alternatives. Yeah, we got pretty quick accommodate with that. So because we were like in this era of technology, and it was okay in the end.
And I think that studying software engineering makes you a little bit more of an expert, you know, with dealing with all kinds of IT issues and IT programs. So Mirella, was it hard for you to find an internship actually? Because this is also like one of the questions that people usually ask and students usually ask. You know, when I tell them about the program, I tell them that there is an internship involved, you know, in your 3rd year, and then your last semester is also within the company where you actually solve real problems. So some of those people, some of the students, they think that those internships are kind of divided by the university, and they sometimes get surprised that they actually need to find an internship themselves. The university might offer some kind of, you know, help, assistance, you know, information, maybe access to some online platforms, but this is also part of education to build this, you know, job-looking skills, if we call them so. And so was it hard for you, especially in the circumstances that you were in?
No, it wasn't that hard. What I would like to say is that even though you're not finding an internship yourself, no one is without an internship. So everyone in the end, so they will start an internship, and that's from Fontys' side, because they are taking care of that.
Okay.
It myself. So after you decide if you want to do your specialization profile internship or your main profile internship, you have to get a CV and a motivational letter. That is not really important, but it's good to have. So
Mhm.
that's good. And then start to apply to certain companies. You will also have a mentor who will guide you and help you and will tell you, look, you will have to work more here and here to get everything done. But even though you will not be able to find yourself, there are several opportunities from Fontys if you were not able to find it, and you will not gonna be left out. So definitely that's not the chance to be left out.
Yeah, because some students do worry that they might not find the internship. As I also know that none of my students were left without an internship. So eventually everybody gets one.
Yes.
You know, maybe a better version or maybe a compromised version of an internship, but they do get one.
Yes.
So are you yourself from the Netherlands originally? Which country are you from?
No, I am actually from Romania. First
Oh,
time here. It was like the first time when I started university. So yeah, I am a stranger still here.
so are you based in the Netherlands at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, and which city? Is it Eindhoven, Venlo? Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also one of the questions that I wanted to ask. There are two major, like there are more campuses, but there are two major campuses for Fontys University of Applied Sciences in Venlo and in Eindhoven. So the majority of the engineering programs are in Eindhoven. There are also some business programs in Eindhoven, and there are some engineering programs, if I'm not mistaken, in Venlo, and there are also business programs in Venlo. Actually, I wanted to tell you, maybe I don't know whether you know it or not, but if I'm not mistaken, Fontys and its Venlo campus was pretty much the first international campus to be opened in the Netherlands many years ago. And Fontys University of Applied Sciences was the first university from the Netherlands to come to Latvia to introduce Dutch education to the Latvian market. So yeah, you guys did a great job in turning, you know, in opening the door for Latvian students to go and study in Holland. So as to those two campuses, I don't know whether you know Venlo that much, but maybe you have, you know, like experience of talking to people. Like, how do they differ? What is Eindhoven? What kind of a city is it? Is it nice to live in Eindhoven? What is it famous for? Just maybe in a few words, if somebody is kind of hesitating between Venlo and Eindhoven, for instance, for a business program.
Eindhoven is definitely a really interesting city. It combines the new architectural with how the Dutch houses are. So it's a really combination between these two. It's the home of a lot of startups in terms of IT field. And of course, it's the home of Philips. So it's really nice to visit. Yeah. And also it's home for a lot of students.
It's home for what?
For a lot of students. There are a lot of students here.
Okay, because you guys have two large universities there. So it's Eindhoven University of Technology and Fontys University of Applied Sciences. And as I remember, you know, many years, not many years ago, but some years ago, actually quite a lot of engineering programs from Eindhoven University of Applied, from Eindhoven University of Technology and Fontys University of Applied Sciences were actually co-op programs. So they pretty much was one program divided in between two universities, and they were run on two campuses simultaneously. So do you guys cooperate with between universities somehow for your engineering programs?
Well, definitely Fontys and the TUE are partners. We have a program for doing a pre-master at TUE while you're doing Fontys. So there is a possibility, I don't know if you know that now in the Netherlands, if you finish an applied sciences university, you have to do a pre-master's and then a master's. So yeah, there is a possibility now from Fontys to do the pre-master while you're doing your bachelor degree, and then
that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to direct it to the masters.
Perfect. Because yeah, this might be a problem for some students who would love to kind of continue their studies at a research university in the Netherlands. They kind of find out that sometimes it's really hard to get into masters afterwards. You actually have to spend 1 more year. So yeah, that's great news. I didn't know about that. So
Yeah.
thanks for this. So are you familiar with the Venlo campus?
I don't know that much about the Venlo campus. I just know that you can learn also in German there. So there is Dutch, English, and German. Here for Eindhoven, it's only English and Dutch. So because Venlo, it's really close. It's like on the border with Germany. I think that's the main point of also teaching in German. They also have a part of the programs that we have. Same happens to Fontys Tilburg. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these three are like they are having some programs, and also they can differ. So I don't have that much information about Venlo, but I can talk about Eindhoven and Tilburg.
So as to Venlo, I know that they're so close to the German border that some of the students, I had quite a number of students at the Venlo campus. Some of the students, they actually go shopping there. So they kind of arrange a car once a week and they go shopping to Germany because it's a little bit cheaper, as they say, to shop in Germany, especially if you buy in bulk. So yeah. Venlo is a very nice city, especially as I understand for the logistics programs, because it's a huge logistics center. I had students there for the marketing and business programs as well, and a few students for the German version of some of the engineering programs. And actually, I don't know anyone from Fontys, at least from my students, who would be unsatisfied with their studies. All of them are quite happy building up their careers, and I keep in touch with some of them. So at least what I know, that they're quite prepared for the real life opportunities when they finish Fontys University of Applied Sciences. So actually what we come now is a little bit, you know, to this understanding what it means to study at a University of Applied Sciences. Because as I wrote to you, there is this a kind of image that it is only worth going it is only worth studying at a research university. And this is this division of universities into research universities and universities of applied sciences is not actually quite common in Latvia, or at least it's not in our heads. So I personally, as a professional in the field, I do understand this idea of a University of Applied Sciences and the way you guys operate and teach students. But maybe you could kind of, you know, tell us from your perspective, from a perspective of the students, what it means to study at a University of Applied Sciences, and how does it differ from what some people get or from what students get at research universities in the Netherlands?
Okay, so I always like to put into practice what I learned. I was, even in high school, I did the computer science and maths. So I think this is quite the main reason that I chose to go to applied sciences. Fontys has the principle of learning by doing. So I think that's a great thing. Because with all these projects and assignments and everything, you get the chance to apply your knowledge to the products that you may develop. So I think the main reason of why people should consider going to a University of Applied Sciences is that if they are a person who would like to get everything into practice, that they're not like just I don't know, maybe memorize everything and then put into a research paper and that's it. If they are that kind of person, of course they can go to the research university all the time, so that is not a problem. But if you're the person who likes to learn more by doing, so everything like in a logic manner, then you definitely consider going to a University of Applied Sciences. It's all about doing stuff, not just let the teachers teach you something and then have an exam on that on paper. It's about having an assignment, going through all the steps that maybe the teacher showed you or discussed with you, and then you apply everything that you learn.
Can you give an example of it, for instance, on a software engineering program? Like, what would be that kind of a good example of this learning by doing?
Okay, so I will give you an example from my first year. So if I chose the software engineering path, and that means I was doing application development, and that means I was doing C#. So even though the teacher was there and explaining us how are the if statements working, how are the for loops working, and all the loops, and then the classes and everything, besides this, we had, as an example, everything that he showed us as a theory, we had it as a separate example. And we were like all with our laptops open, and we were like trying to copy it, but not copy, to understand what he was doing there, because we had like a projector on the screen. So we knew all what he was doing there. So it was like when he was coding and explaining what was happening, we were with him there. So maybe we could put questions, ask questions if we didn't understand something. And yeah, after that, we had some assignments for teacher to see if we really understood what the topic was. And he was coming to us and ask, hey, how was this? It was okay for you? Let's see, how did you do this? And I think it really matters, this kind of approaching.
How many pupils or how many students do you usually have in class or in a group?
We have classes of around maybe 25. Yeah, around 25. And then if we have group projects, we can have like 2 people, from 2 people till 7 people, but it's usually around 5 people per team. You can have individual assignments, but this is also going for teamwork, and it's really important, because in the end you will end up in a team, not by yourself, and you will need to know what to do and how to cope with everyone. So that's
okay. And then again, you have these internships during your first or the last semester of your 3rd year, and then you don't really write a classic bachelor thesis paper. You have like a graduation project which consists of a paper and also implementation of your knowledge in a real world, as I understand. Do I get it right?
Yeah, so basically you will have, for both internships, you will have an assignment, and you will write a report based on that, and you will have a final product. This is how it works. And you will be presenting the product and the report to your assessors.
And how do you guys cooperate on campus? For instance, you have students doing business degrees, you have students doing a number of engineering degrees. I also know there is a program, quite an interesting program actually, that's one of my favorites, which is engineering and management program, something like that. I do love those programs that have a combination of different industries within. So do you have the opportunity to kind of cooperate between each other? Do you guys have like maybe common projects? Do students from business programs come to you and ask for help? Do you go to them and ask for help? You know, how does it happen?
Well, the first semester is basically for everyone. So we are mixed. For example, you can be in a class with the same person who would like to go on further with infrastructure, media design, business, and of course software engineering, and also embedded systems, which is a technology path. But also this is for them to get the chance to see which of the courses they would like more. And then after this semester, this is like the first one, and after this one they will get separated into certain paths depending on what they are choosing. But what you asked earlier, no, we don't have that opportunity, at least not yet. And they can meet and see each other in the buildings. We have common areas. We have a lot of spaces for them to meet. But in terms of just school stuff, no, we don't have that yet.
You told us at the very beginning that there is a new building for engineering.
Yes.
Maybe you can kind of, talk about the new building a little bit, tell us what is there, what are those exciting things that are in the new building for engineering in Eindhoven?
Well, so basically the new building, it's called R10. So it's our home for the software engineering, and for physiotherapy. It's like they're just one floor, but the whole building has 4. It's a really nice building, a new one. The one that we had before was around 30 years old, and now it's demolished because they are building a new building. It's interesting. It has an interesting vibe of wishing to go there more often than you would like to go to school, for example. There are common areas. We have, I don't know what to emphasize more. I think the architecture is nice. It's quite combined with the industrial design. It's really, really different than what we are used to have as a school building, as a university building. We have on the first floor the student desk. So if they have any problem, they can go there and ask for something related to their studies. So even though it's the tuition fee or, I don't know, something related to this. So it's the administrative side. We have the ISSD, which I don't know if it's in another universities besides the Netherlands, but ISSD is for us a room that basically lends us a lot of equipment. So, for example, if I need any sort of cable, if I need a PS4, if I need an iPad, my laptop broke down, a mouse, or anything, I can go there and borrow it for free. And that's a really nice opportunity to have that. And of course, we have 2 study associations. The one that I am part of, and I am currently a board member, which is for the international students. So we are trying to help them with every problem. We try to organize events such as, I don't know, parties or workshops and everything related to the student life.
So what are your personal plans? Are you planning to stay in the Netherlands when you graduate, or maybe are you planning to go back to Romania, or are you planning to maybe continue your education and career somewhere else? So what is this vibe, among students, what their future dreams are? because a kind of, there is, again, this image that if you go to a particular country, you have to stay in that country. I don't think it works like that. I think students are more open-minded in the moment, and the world is quite open. You can have a job pretty much anywhere. So what about you? Do you have any idea where you're going to land?
Well, I think it's depending on how graduation goes. If I found a job here, then why not? I'm happy to live here, as I lived so far and I didn't had any problems with how the Netherlands is as a country. I'm still debating if I'm gonna take a master's here or not, because it's quite a lot of time considering the circumstances. So it's gonna be for me 3 years of pre-master and master. So still trying to think about it. I think everything depends on what project arrives and what opportunity is there for me. So if I get the chance to go on another project in another country, then I will not say no. And yeah, I think it's depending on how the future is gonna be.
Are you learning Dutch?
Right now, no. I know some words, but I am not fluent. I don't know that many words. I just happen to know some words. So it's a bit easier to know some words. Netherlands has the second official language English. 90% of the population, maybe more, speaks and knows English. So it's not that language barrier. And it's okay with that.
What about finding a job, let's say, after graduation? Do you think that you would need to learn or you would need to know Dutch to have more job opportunities? Maybe in your sector it's a little bit different, because a kind of software IT engineering is more or less international. You guys all communicate in English, I believe. But in general, what do you think, like, in order to stay in the Netherlands and maybe to land a good job, would you recommend taking Dutch classes to those who start their education, let's say next year or this year?
Definitely, if they have the opportunity to study Dutch, I would definitely recommend. I know that Fontys had a program for Dutch, but I don't know if it's still on. In terms of after you finish your studies, so there are a lot of students working to the company that they are finished with graduation. So there's a huge chance of being employed there. This is how the majority of the cases is. In terms of speaking Dutch to get a new job or a job in the field, some of the companies require Dutch and some not. So it's really depending on how the company politics are. But if someone has the opportunity to learn Dutch, I will definitely recommend it.
Okay. I also wanted to ask you about the housing thing, because housing thing, especially this year, honestly, Mirella, it was a nightmare. I believe there were there were a number of reasons for this housing problem to arise in the Netherlands. It's because of the COVID, lots of students didn't move, lots of them, stayed maybe for masters, they just, didn't move houses. Lots of people came back home from some kind of employment somewhere. And also the Brexit thing that increase the number of applicants to Dutch universities in general, you know. So what about Eindhoven? Because Eindhoven actually happened to be one of those cities, at least amongst my students, with the least problem of accommodation. So in Eindhoven, we managed to accommodate everyone timely. And I also had a student for a physiotherapy course at Fontys, and she got an offer, you know, from the university last minute. That was the end of August, and the university helped her with accommodation, which I was just praying to God because she was like the last one. And also in Venlo, there wasn't really like a problem if you act fast and if you apply through the university until the accommodation deadline. So I was really pleased that Fontys University has this opportunity to apply for accommodation through the university, you know, because some other universities, even very famous research universities, they don't have this option. So how is it in Eindhoven at the moment? Is it like filled with students? Are students sitting on each other's heads?
Well, I must say it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Why I know that is because, as I said, I am a part of the student association, and it happens to be for me to be taking care of what happens with the social media. So I got a lot of questions from who didn't find a place to stay. And I am happy to say that Fontys managed to help them, and that was a relief for us. Yes, you are right. You can apply through Fontys for accommodation. That's the safest way, and I would go for that every time. This is, I also accommodate here in my first year. So until their deadline, which is around middle of June for accommodation, if you apply through that, you will definitely have a home, a place to stay. If you are considering to do that by yourself, it's gonna be tough from now on because, as you said, with the Brexit and everything, we have more and more students coming. It's gonna be difficult than how it was before. But of course, if you cannot find a place by yourself, Fontys will definitely help.
Yeah, that's also one of the things that I wanted to emphasize, you know, that there are universities that do not really help students. Honestly, it's a kind of their own opportunity, own responsibility. With Fontys, I think that's one of the benefits of Fontys, that you guys have this service to the students, and that's a great help. Like to me, as an agent, that was a great help from the university. So yeah, and actually my student on the physiotherapy program, she started this September. She's absolutely happy with her life and with the university and with the city. So I'm really, really glad about that. Okie doke. So to wrap up, because we're kind of, you know, not running out of time, but we are getting to the end of it. As a student, you might not know really, but maybe you've thought about that again because you're thinking about your future and you're considering all kinds of options. What do you think the future labor market might be like in the Netherlands or elsewhere? What would you already, as a future graduate, advise high school graduates this year to consider when they choose a university, when they choose a program, when they kind of choose a profession? Maybe there are certain things that you would like to kind of, you know, recommend them to follow.
First, I will recommend them my profile. So that's engineering.
Okay.
So it's not only software engineering. This is how it's called. So they have like 5 main profiles they can choose. So the software, that's the big one. And in terms of that, those are business, media design, infrastructure, technology, and software engineering itself. So they can choose one of these paths. Of course, it's a IT related field, but it's all of them are really different from each other. They all are engineering paths, but quite different. So depending on what they would like, they may find something that it's suitable for them. I will also go for business. It's also coming, more and more startups and businesses are growing up. So definitely they will need a business consultant as a professional example, despite the all professions that are available for the software engineering. So you basically, all the companies have an IT department, and you can find a job there. So that's a relief for the ones that are following the software engineering profile. Other than that, maybe marketing and media, and why not engineering itself or the digital business. So it's everything kind of related to the software, but not really. But because everything is upgrading to the new era of technology, and everything is going up to using only our laptops or phones or everything. It has to be something related to have like a secure job.
Okay, Doc. And how is your internship going right now? How would you rate it?
Well, it's going. So
is it hard for you to be, in a work environment, because it's I presume that's your first like work in the field? Yeah.
Well, it's certainly different than going to university. I have to go to the office and see how the things are, and I have stand-up meetings with my CTO, and I have to do myself. So I have to decide what I'm doing today or what I will be doing this week, and things like this. So I don't have any deadlines. Well, I have deadlines, but I can set them for myself. I don't have that much guidance in terms of, I don't have anyone that tells me what to do or teaches me something. So I have a free hand on how am I dealing with learning stuff. It's going nice. I got acquainted with everyone in the company. Of course, they're all speaking Dutch and I'm not, but it's not a problem because everyone speaks English, and that's a relief for me. Besides than that, I have to soon start and write for my report because I have to deliver it in the second week of January, and I have basically to describe the whole process that I was researching company, and of course to work on the final product.
Perfect. So Mirella, we are all wishing you good luck and success in finishing up your internship and making a decision about your second semester and finding a company for your graduation project as well, so you can stay with them and build your successful career. So thanks a lot for being with us tonight. And as I understand, if we have any questions, we can contact you. And really, I'm really thankful that you covered for your colleagues at Fontys and joined us. Thank you so much, and yeah, have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening too, and thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.